It is our pleasure to welcome you all. Today is the global inauguration of the 2023 Youth in Evaluation Week. Yeah, thank you. So it is our pleasure to finally welcome you all and officially say that Youth in Evaluation Week is now on. So welcome to our participants. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are going to be your moderator for today. My name is Ana Erica Lareza, young and emerging evaluator from the Philippines and co-founder of Evaluate Asia.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this event. I am Gerardo Sanchez. I am an evaluator. I'm a part of the council member of the International Evaluation Academy and former co-chair of Eval Youth in Latin America and the Caribbean.
So, before we officially start, just a very quick audience reminders. So, Gerardo. Next slide.
Yes, please. We will ask you to keep your microphone and video disabled so we can hear each other. Put your name with this special code that is your country, your first name, and your last name, please, so we can identify you pretty easily. And then for questions, leave them in the chat, please, and we will do a round of questions after the presentation of our speakers.
Yeah. And today's event, the global inauguration, is meant to introduce as well to you guys the Youth in Evaluation Week. So it is an inclusive and intergenerational 5-day gathering of both the young and emerging evaluators and the global evaluation community as a whole, focusing on advancing the meaningful engagement of youth in evaluation.
Youth in Evaluation Week is focused on strengthening the voice, learning, and prosperity of young evaluators, aligned with the United Nations Secretary General's our common agenda.
Yeah. And so without further ado, we would like to start this event by a few welcoming remarks. So I would like to invite to the floor Gabriela Renteria Flores, Chair of the Eval Youth Global Network. Over to you, Gabby.
Thank you, Ana Erica and Gerardo. Dear all, thanks for joining us today. I'm thrilled to welcome you all to the launch of the Youth in Evaluation Week. Today, we gather here to celebrate the power of young people and their commitment to driving change, especially through evaluation. Almost a year ago, Eval Youth, together with UNFPA Evaluation Office and the Global Parliamentarians Forum for Evaluation, launched this campaign and the manifesto to meaningfully engage youth and young evaluators in evaluation. Today, we are thrilled that there are more than 600 signatures of the manifesto showcasing the importance of including different voices into the evaluation practice. As we all know, evaluation plays a crucial role in ensuring that programs and policies are effective, efficient, and equitable. But too often, young people are left out of the conversation. Youth perspectives are essential to making evaluation more relevant, responsive, and impactful. That's why events like Youth in Evaluation Week are so important, because they give young people a platform to share their experiences, insights, and innovation, but also to showcase the potential of youth and the transformative impact of intergenerational learning and collaboration. Also, they help to foster a culture of evaluation that is inclusive, diverse, and dynamic. But Youth in Evaluation Week is not just about the value of youth. It is also about the power of volunteering. Many of you here today are volunteers who have dedicated your time, energy, and expertise to advancing the practice of evaluation. Whether you're a student, a young evaluator, a more experienced evaluator, your contributions are essential to making evaluation more accessible, relevant, and responsive. So as we kick off this exciting event, I want to thank each and every one of you for your commitment to evaluation and you believe in the power of youth, intergenerational exchange, and volunteering. I encourage you to take make the most out of this opportunity to share your ideas, to learn from each other, and to build connection that will help us to create a better future for all. Thank you and enjoy this week.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. And I have the pleasure to introduce you now to our very own Marco Segone. He is the Director of UNFPA Evaluation Office. The floor is yours, Marco.
Thank you very much, and a warm welcome to the global inauguration of the Youth in Evaluation Week. Well, this is yet another historic event. This is the first week-long intergenerational conference in the evaluation community on the themes of enhancing intergenerational solidarity for transformative evaluation. And we are walking the talk. This week has been co-curated, co-led, co-produced, and is being co-managed together with youth and seniors or less young evaluators in the evaluation community. And it also coincides with the 3rd anniversary of the Eval for Action campaign. Now, why youth in evaluation? Well, because young people, by definition, promotes innovation. They enhance the relevance and quality of evaluation. It raises youth voice and agency in evaluation, and also strengthens the transformational power of evaluation to bring about change in the lives of people. You know, young people are marching ahead and are already taking the lead to support the delivery of the Sustainable Development Goals. So let's proactively harness this power of youth in evaluation too. To do so, we must accept our role and responsibility in nurturing meaningful engagement of youth in evaluation, and all stakeholders have a role to play. In this 5-day conference, so this is a 5-day conference with an intergenerational effort to spotlight and advance youth in evaluation together with youth. Many of you joined us at the celebratory events for youth in evaluation in May last year. That event launched the manifesto for advancing the meaningful engagement of youth in evaluation. Today, after 1 year, there are more than 600 organizations and individuals that have signed the manifesto. And the Youth in Evaluation Week builds on this growing momentum. This week, we are bringing together the global evaluation community and all stakeholders across generations to celebrate, deliberate, and dialogue on how we can accelerate the voice, learning, and prosperity of youth in evaluation. These 3 tracks, voice, learning, and prosperity of youth, are the key values that have been identified by youth, by young people, in the UN Secretary General Our Common Agenda, which focuses on advancing intergenerational solidarity to address the complex global crisis of today. And the conference theme, Intergenerational Solidarity for Transformative Evaluation, is very much aligned to this vision. So this week, we will be marked by more than 50 events at global, regional, and national level. 23 events on strengthening the voice of youth in evaluation, 25 events for advancing learning and evaluation skills of young evaluators, and 12 events focused on prosperity of youth in evaluation, for example, developing careers and economic opportunities for youth in evaluation. But we will also launch the 6 standards for enhancing meaningful youth engagements in evaluations. So last year we have the signature of the manifesto, but now through the standards, the idea is really to implement those commitments of the manifesto. And these standards are tailored to 6 different stakeholder groups, including international agencies like United Nations agencies or the multilateral banks, the VOPES, the Voluntary Organization for Professional Evaluation, governments, youth organizations, academia, and the private sector. So I hope you will actively join the events throughout the week, share your ideas and experiences, and give support to the intergenerational advocacy for youth in evaluation. Finally, I also would like to invite you to sign the Youth in Evaluation Manifesto in case you have not done so yet, and spread the word. So I wish the conference all the success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marco. We welcome now Kabir Hashim, who is the chair of the Global Parliamentarian Forum for Evaluation.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to be with you all. As a parliamentarian and as a politician, it's so nice to say a few words today. In the world of politics and in the world of government, there are changes, especially amongst the youth. In 2021, Gabriel Boric became Chile's youngest president at 35 years. In Kosovo, Vijosa Osmani became president at 38 years. In El Salvador, Najib Bukele became president at 40 years. In New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern was president at 37 years when she started. Sheikh Tamimi, the ruler of Qatar, is just 41 years. And Hamza Yusuf, the Scotland's first minister, became the first minister at 37 years. So in the world of politics, young people are moving towards change. And because people are demanding accountability, youth are demanding accountability. And these young political leaders need tools that will help them towards having evidence-based decision making. They need evidence. And for that, evaluation becomes a critical tool. So as young people, as youth, you can't just stand outside the arena and be a spectator all the time. I think if you expect change for the better, then this is the time that you get into the arena and start working and fighting for that change, like in the field of politics and in government, where the youth are taking over and walking the talk. This is your time, like in the world of government. I think this is the opportunity, and in this week, I think all the young people, all the youth evaluators can take that lead and make that change, because with limited resources in the world and limited time, it is imperative that if we are to achieve the sustainable development goals, evaluation has to become a critical tool that we have to promote. Therefore, I wish you all a very successful week of deliberating and making strong decisions. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kabir Hashim, for joining us today and sharing us a few words of welcoming remarks with us. And so for today, we all know, and I think we all agree that, youth in evaluation and engaging with them is one of the key accelerators to delivering of the sustainable development goals. That is why even outside of the evaluation communities, we have garnered support in this global movement to advancing meaningful engagement of youth in evaluation. So that is why it is also my pleasure to share with you a few opening words of opening remarks from the UNFPA Executive Director, Dr. Natalia Kanem. Give me one.
Dear colleagues, dear young people, happy Youth in Evaluation Week. I'm glad we have a week because over the next 5 days, with 56 events, what we're going to do is to celebrate the global evaluation community and to deliberate on how we can multiply the voices and opportunities of youth in evaluation. I am personally delighted that this conference is being co-led and co-organized, leadership by young people whose meaningful engagement and evaluation has been a big win-win for everyone. That's ensuring that we stay innovative and that we stay fit for purpose while strengthening our ability to reach anyone who is furthest behind. The theme for this week is aligned with our Secretary General's Our Common Agenda, based on the Sustainable Development Goals, and it emphasizes the need for intergenerational solidarity. That helps to address the very complex but interwoven, interconnected global crises of this era that we live in. Young people are already taking the lead to support the delivery of the Sustainable Development Goals. That's one of the features which I think has led to success, even though, of course, now it's time to strengthen young people's leadership in evaluation in particular. Recently, there have been important strides. Since the launch last year, Youth in Evaluation has delivered their manifesto. That's already been adopted by 600 organizations and individuals. They've committed to building up the capacities of young people and emerging evaluators. In order to know how we're doing, we have to ask. And this is what the young cohort of evaluators is going to do in a very astute way. Let us continue to support the success of the manifesto's implementation, the 6 standards for enhancing youth engagement, which are going to be launched this week, and which are going to provide us with a roadmap to success while boosting our own accountability. I want to thank EvalYouth. The EvalYouth Global Network is fantastic. The Global Parliamentarians Forum on Evaluation, as well as our own UNFPA Evaluation Office, have been wonderful partners in co-leading and driving all of these various initiatives and using their imagination to move us forward, including in this conference. Thank you for what you're doing to drive forward the Eval for Action campaign. I really hope that the momentum of this week is going to push us even further, and with young people at the center, that we're going to be able to shine an ever brighter light on evaluation so that everyone can continue to deliver results in an understandable, meaningful dynamic. And yes, it's a fast-moving landscape, but evaluation helps us to make sense of our world. Wishing you all a highly successful conference. Adelante, we move forward.
So
Dear colleagues, dear young people.
So we really thank Dr. Natalia Kanem for her endless support as well for the Youth in Evaluation and Eval for Action campaign. So next up, we also have another honored speaker. His name is Yemurai Nyoni, young evaluator and a youth development specialist from Zimbabwe. Over to you, Yemurai.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to join this Youth in Eval global inauguration. Youth leadership and participation continue to take a root in all areas of international development work. I believe that this is a progressive movement. It's also a necessary movement towards a more equitable international development space. I would say that this movement has been at the core of my work from my early days in high school, in as early as 2007, as a child leader in the city's junior council. And it continues to date. All the work I've done to date, both unpaid and paid, has been with a focus on enabling the meaningful participation of young people in development processes. Over the years of work in this space, I've learned 3 very important lessons that I'd like to share. The first is that there is no limit to where, how, and when young people can contribute to development processes. This means that excluding young people from any part of the development process has become much more difficult to justify than it has been historically. Actually, those that want to exclude young people to date are running out of excuses to keep doing so. This is progress, and this is good progress. The second lesson I've learned is that young people can become competent contributors to any field during their youth due to improvements in educational, technological, and political access over the years. I believe that now more than ever, youth have the expertise needed to deliver. young people can do it. And in this case, young people can evaluate. And I'm a beneficiary of that belief myself as a youth evaluator. The third lesson is that moving from engaging with youth to partnering with youth is the future of meaningful youth participation. So this includes partnering with youth as co-evaluators, advisors, decision makers, and advocates. A lot of the opportunities for partnership are also outlined within the manifesto for youth in evaluation. In 2021, I was involved in a meta-synthesis of lessons learned from youth evaluations to support the implementation of the United Nations Youth Strategy. And this work was commissioned by UNFPA and UNICEF. And there were two key lessons that I'd like to share with you as well that emerged from that evaluation. It included an evaluation of youth participatory approaches. The first lesson from that meta-synthesis I want to share is that engaging youth in data collection and knowledge generation supports accountability and can contribute to youth empowerment. The second is that working with youth in multiple capacities empowers young people by allowing them to engage in more transformative activities. So in light of this evidence, a few on the call today might be wondering what's missing and what can we do more of or less of to improve youth engagement within the evaluation space. I'd like to pause and pay attention to trust. I believe the biggest thing that's missing is trust. Even though the evidence supports youth engagement in general and youth engagement in evaluations as well, there's not enough trust amongst gatekeepers to support young evaluators and open gates for their involvement. It doesn't matter how much evidence there is in support of youth participation. At the end of the day, progress in youth participation depends on the preferences and decisions of budget holders. And without their trust, we will not be able to make the progress we need. So with that, I'll end my remarks and hopefully look forward to listening to what other speakers have to say about how we take this agenda forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yemurai, for sharing those valuable lessons. So I think we all agree that indeed there is no limit to where, how, and when young people can contribute to the development process, as Yemurai have mentioned. So on the road to the Sustainable Development Goals, it is already imperative, it is important that we must engage youth in evaluation in all diversity. That is why it is our pleasure to welcome 7 activists today with us from all around the world to share their experiences on the importance of engaging youth in multiple sectors, such as climate, health, and across thematic areas such as gender, disabilities, indigenous youth, and global South perspective. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our first speaker, Aida Naku, who is a youth climate activist from Rise Up movement. Over to you, Aida.
Thank you. It's very hard to come after all those amazing speakers. Thank you so much. My name is Aida. I'm a youth activist from Kampala, Uganda. I became a virtual activist in 2021. That was during the lockdown. Becoming a virtual activist was really hard. It presented its own challenges, but I believe it built a new breed of activists that are drivers for change. This virtual activism definitely showed that there is no limit to what we can do despite the challenges. On my journey, I've been blessed to meet a number of activists from different parts of the world, passionate about climate change and wanting to hold those in power accountable to play their part in fueling the climate crisis. This therefore presents the need to engage youth in climate evaluation, and therefore this presents the need for youth engagement in climate evaluation across sectors now. With this, we ask ourselves, how can we engage the youth in climate evaluation? To effectively engage youth in climate evaluation, we have to understand how do the youth understand climate evaluation? From this, we can create opportunities for them to participate in climate evaluation. It can also be achieved through organizing different workshops and panel discussions, plus events like the one we have today. This will provide young people with platforms to express their opinions and ideas. Additionally, it's crucial that we educate and empower youth by providing them with scientific knowledge, sharing success stories of environmental movements, and highlighting the importance of individual actions in tackling climate change. Creating awareness campaigns, utilizing social media platforms, and partnering with youth-led organizations like the Rise Up movement that I'm part of, plus their projects, will help to amplify the voices of young people. By fostering intergenerational collaboration between youth and professionals from different sectors such as science, government, education, media, and industry, the youth can navigate their way towards climate solutions that are both effective and equitable. Furthermore, ensuring that the language being used is youth-friendly and it's relatable can enable effective communication with young people. It's also important to recognize that youth possess unique perspectives and insights, and therefore their involvement in climate evaluation across sectors is necessary. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aida. Now we have Sandra Albert, who is Director of the Indian Institute of Public Health in Shillong. Please, Sandra.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the organizers, particularly Azalia and his team, for inviting me to the Youth and Evaluation Week. And it's a pleasure to be part of this event. Greetings from Shillong, that is from the capital of Meghalaya state in the northeast region of India. We are located a little bit above Bangladesh. Over the next couple of minutes, I was asked to say a few words with evaluation and health, and so I try and briefly touch upon a few points that I've put together. Public health interventions by nature are often complex, and our knowledge base on implementation, when we implement various projects and interventions, is often incomplete at the start of at the outset. A part of evaluation or evaluator's role is to bring this knowledge into implementation. So in one sense, we need to engage with complexity and heterogeneity. And I think that is something that we need to speak about as we are bringing up youth to do and involve them and engage them to understand complexity and heterogeneity and how we can deal with it. Evaluators and evaluation need to engage with inequity more substantively. And I think other speakers have alluded to this. Our role is not just to improve health, but also to decrease gaps in health inequities. And I think that is something Gen Z or the youth appreciate a lot. And this is important. So it's important to engage with equality or inequities in a pragmatic manner. And often when we look at practical ways of implementation, though we speak about inequities and it's all on paper, it's not that easy to translate it into practice. And I think that's something that the evaluation community needs to engage with. Evaluation also needs to have a stronger local lens. And I think this we need to do by engaging with local actors, particularly youth, in each context. While external, and that is not to diminish external perspectives, and I think external perspectives are often very valuable, but evaluation needs to have stronger local lenses. And I think this is also important from the sustainability perspective and to become more beneficial to each community. As we seek to improve evaluation in India, in Asia, Africa, and other regions, I think evaluation also needs to engage with capacity building, particularly among the youth. And I think this is something that this week is talking about. When we talk about capacity building, I think it could talk about technical skills, but of course, But also, I think what we often don't talk so much about and should probably do more is about communication. We need to empower our youth to connect with other researchers, but also have communication skills required to make recommendations that are implementable, both at policy level and also at a very practical level. So that's something we could focus on, communication. And my final point, I guess, is to say that evaluators need to be trained to be more versatile and adaptive. Often we get stuck in one or two methods. We all know that there are different approaches to evaluation, whether it's summative or formative or looking at it with a developmental lens. But I think at the end of the day, we all need to learn. It's the question at hand and what we are trying to do and achieve. And therefore, learning to be more versatile and adaptive and having many more skill sets is, I think, useful to keep in mind. And with that, I'll stop and let the next speaker speak. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for sharing your knowledge with us today. Up next, we have Najib Matar, member of Youth Excel's Global Youth Advisory Council. Over to you, Najib.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ana Erika. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Najib Matar, the founder of Act for Impact and member of Youth Excel's Global Youth Advisory Council. And it's my great honor to be here with you today to celebrate the inauguration event of Youth in Evaluation Week. As a young person myself, I believe it's crucial to engage youth in evaluation. Too often, young people are excluded from decision-making processes, including program evaluation. Yet we are the ones who are directly affected by these programs and policies. As a result, our voices should be heard and valued in the evaluation process. Engaging youth in evaluation can foster a sense of collaboration and partnership between young people and the public and private sectors. We can work together to co-create evaluation plans, identify relevant data sources, and analyze and interpret data. This can help us to break down traditional power dynamics and promote a more equitable and inclusive evaluation process. When we are given the opportunity to be heard and valued, we can provide valuable insights and help ensure that programs and policies are truly relevant and effective for young people. As young people, we want to be part of creating solutions for the issues that we face. We can bring fresh ideas and new perspectives to the table, which can help to create more innovative and sustainable solutions. Furthermore, we're not just passive recipients of programs and policies. We are active agents of change. Engaging us in evaluation can help us with professional development, organizational leadership, and strategic thinking, which can enable us to advocate for ourselves and future generations. Therefore, I believe that engaging youth in evaluation is essential and imperative for ensuring that programs and policies are effective, sustainable, and relevant for young people. As young people, we have valuable insights and experiences that can inform the evaluation process and help to create a better future for all of us. Thank you for your attention. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Najib, for your words. Now I see the floor to Chloe Guy. She's girl guiding the UK's head of strategy. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. I'm loving hearing all these intros today. So yeah, hi, everyone. I'm Chloe G. I'm head of strategy at Girl Guiding UK. It's the UK's largest youth organisation dedicated completely to girls. So I'm really excited to be with you today and so glad that we are bringing in gender into the evaluation conversation. So at Girl Guiding, we help girls know they can do anything, whoever they are, wherever they are from. But we also know girls face pressures and expectations in their every area of their lives, from gender stereotypes to barriers and challenges to their well-being, or even feeling safe out in public. And these pressures vary across the context that we all are in today. That's why it's so important to amplify diverse girls and young women's voices in evaluation. Girls are so often overlooked, underestimated. They're told that leadership and decision-making isn't for them. Empowering girls in evaluation means giving them a chance to have their voices heard, to shape the programs, services, worlds that affect them, and to build a more equal world for themselves. Engaging with girls also benefits organisations. It helps to make our evaluations more accurate, meaningful, and creative. And from a personal perspective, I often find this is where the most honest assessments are made. Girls are experts in their own lives and own experiences, and we need to recognise this. Organisations across the public, private and non-profit sectors should celebrate the unique contributions girls and young women can make to evaluation. Girl Guiding will be speaking more about this this week, all about embedding girl voice in monitoring, evaluation and learning at a workshop on Wednesday. And we'll really be delving more into the question of what is meaningful girl-centred evaluation. So looking forward to talking with you further on this.
Thank you very much, Chloe. And we definitely are looking forward to that event, including with the many other events prepared by our partners all around the world for youth in evaluation. Up next, we have Rosemary Vilca Casas, an indigenous youth and also the co-founder of Evaluate Bolivia. Over to you, Rosemary.
Hola a todos y todas, ¿no? Bueno, mi nombre es Rosemary Vilca Casas, soy una mujer aymara, evaluadora emergente, cofundadora de Evaluate Bolivia y soy parte de Evaluate Latinoamérica. Actualmente me encuentro trabajando con los pueblos originarios campesinos aymaras de Bolivia. Las y los evaluadores jóvenes y emergentes que habitamos del sur del continente americano, queremos hacer llegar un saludo lleno de fuerza para todos y todas, ¿no? Que venimos trabajando para democratizar los espacios de decisión y contribuir a una cultura de evaluación horizontal desde lo local. Estamos seguros y seguras de que la evaluación se puede convertir en una herramienta para ser usada en el empoderamiento de los pueblos y naciones indígenas originarios campesinos, para que sus voces sean escuchadas en los procesos de evaluación y reflexión, que nos permita construir un mundo que albergue diversos mundos. Durante mucho tiempo, la evaluación ha sido utilizada como una herramienta para ayudar y mantener y justificar un enfoque colonial y paternalista hacia las comunidades. La Semana de la Juventud en la Evaluación es el resultado de la apuesta que estamos haciendo para transformar nuestra sociedad. Pero ese cambio no será posible si no nos desafiamos a evaluar desde un enfoque intercultural que nos permita tomar en cuenta las diferentes lógicas y contextos que existen en Latinoamérica y el mundo. Hoy, las y los jóvenes evaluadores y emergentes del altiplano boliviano nos unimos a este movimiento global para desafiarnos y construir y contribuir a la construcción de un mundo con justicia social y autodeterminación política, económica, social, indígenas, las y las jóvenes somos parte activa.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rosemary. So over to you, Gabby, for our English.
I'm not a member of the guest house.
Please, if you can silence your microphones, the audience, please.
Hi, good morning. Her name is Rosemary Vilca Casas. She's an Aymara woman and emerging evaluator, co-founder of Evaluate Bolivia and part of Evaluate Latin America. I'm speaking I'm doing the translation of her speech, so I'm going to speak in you. I currently work with the Aymara peasant indigenous people of Bolivia. The young and emerging evaluators who inhabit the south of the American continent want to send a powerful greeting to all of us who have been working to democratize decision-making spaces and contribute to the culture of evaluation from the local level. We are sure that the evaluation can become a tool to be used in the empowerment of the original peasant indigenous peoples and nations, so that their voices are heard in the evaluation and reflection processes that allow us to build a world that shelters various perspectives. Evaluation has long been used as a tool to help maintain and justify paternalistic approach to communities. But now, the Youth in Evaluation Week is a result of the commitment we are making to transform our society. But this change will not be possible if we do not challenge ourselves to evaluate from an intercultural approach that allow us to take into account the different logics and contexts that exist in not only in Latin America, but in the world. Today, the young and emerging evaluators from the Bolivian Altiplano join this global movement to challenge ourselves and contribute to the construction of a world with social justice, political, economic, and social self-determination of the original indigenous peoples and nations of which we, the young people, are active part. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Rosemary. Thank you so much, Rosemary, for bringing up very, very, very important perspectives from the point of view of the youth and also the indigenous communities, the indigenous peoples from the Americas. This is very important message. This is very powerful as well. Thank you. So now over to our next speakers, Mridula Kapil Bhargava, who is the diabetes advocate and founder of Diabetes Fighters Trust. Over to you, Mridula.
Thank you so much. I would start my talk by saying nothing about us without us. Namaste, my name is Mridula. I'm a public health professional, young evaluator, and also a person living with type 1 diabetes for past 30 years, an autoimmune disease where a person has to take multiple insulin injections throughout their lives. And I'm honored to speak with you today about disabilities, patient advocacy, and the role of young evaluators in the development sector. As someone who lives with type 1 diabetes, I know firsthand the challenges that a person with disabilities face in our society. We may have different visible or invisible disabilities, but we all share a common need for support, understanding, and respect. We need to be at the forefront of discussions and decisions that affect our lives. We have unique perspectives and experiences that can inform and improve the programs and policies that impact us. And that's where young evaluators come in. As a young evaluator myself, I believe that we have a critical role to play in ensuring that programs and impact evaluations related to disabilities are inclusive, accessible, and meaningful. We can bring fresh perspectives, innovative approaches, and a commitment to social justice to our work. And I feel proud to mention that our patient advocacy platform, Care All, that especially focuses upon impact evaluation, has been recently incubated at IIM Bangalore. But we need to do more than just show up. We need to actively engage with people with disabilities, listen to their voices, and center their experiences in our evaluations. We need to challenge ableism, advocate for accessible design, and promote disability rights in all aspects of development work. So let's remember the words, nothing about us without us. Let's commit ourselves to patient advocacy, disability inclusion, and social justice in our work as evaluators and development professionals. Thank you, and happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mridula, for sharing such inspiring words. Up next, we have Anis Ben Brick, Associate Professor of Hamad bin Khalifa University in Qatar. Anis, over to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm very honored to be with you today to discuss the crucial role of higher education institutions in promoting youth in evaluation. As we know, evaluation is essential for assessing the effectiveness and impact of programs, policies, and intervention. However, the field of evaluation still lacks capacity building programs, diversity, and inclusivity, particularly in terms of youth involvement. To address this issue, We must prioritize accessible education programs and scholarship for young evaluators. These programs can help break down financial barriers that prevent many young people from accessing high-quality education in evaluation. Scholarship in particular can provide financial support for young evaluators who might face significant challenge in accessing education due to limited resources. I'm thrilled today to announce that my university, the Hamad bin Khalifa University here in Qatar, is committed to working with partners to provide scholarship for young evaluators for our master program on social policy and program evaluation based in Qatar. This scholarship is designed to help young evaluators from the Global South to access our 2 years full-time program, a master program in evaluation. We believe that providing this scholarship for young evaluators is a crucial step in promoting diversity and inclusivity in the field of evaluation, and by investing in the education of young evaluators, we can build local education capacity, support sustainable development, and ensure that evaluation efforts are effective and impactful. To conclude, accessible education program, in particular, providing scholarship for young evaluators from the Global South, are essential in promoting youth in evaluation and sustainable development. Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you so much, Anis. And this is the time for Speak Up. And so I ask all the participants, everyone, to please open your mic and turn on your cameras so we can see you. And pose a question if you want. It could be via the chat, preferably, or raising the hand, or just comment or reflect, react to the words that we just heard from our bright speakers today.
I would also like to add, Gerardo, actually, while we are waiting for questions from our audiences, I think many of the speeches from our guest speakers today really resonated, despite coming from multiple sectors, coming from different teams. All of them are just saying the same thing. We must engage youth in development processes, including evaluation. So I think this is, at least this is the first as well for me to hear this, just people from across sectors sharing just the same thought in the same room and agreeing that this cause is this cause is important. Yeah, I think we have a couple of questions.
Well, by the way, Professor Anis has just posted on the chat the link to the master program that he mentioned. So go check it out.
Thank you, Anis. I suppose that also addresses one of the questions who are asking for how to access that opportunity. I see.
So we have 2 hands raised. Should we start with them? We have Vicente Plata. Yes, you present yourself and ask your question, please. Go ahead. Thank you so much for be the first one.
Good morning to all, and thank you for several interesting presentations. I come from the agriculture sector, working in the government and at FAO, and trying to involve youth in evaluations, and from the very start moment on designing projects, policies, and then evaluations is quite challenging. It's quite challenging because they have different experience, different perspectives, and sometimes it is important to have different spaces where to work with them and with the seniors, because if not, there are interactions that might not permit youth to express freely or completely. Do you have any recommendations on methodology for that better designed and work to involve youth in evaluations? Because they are the future, but they are the present. So it's very, very important to involve them in evaluations, speaking about policies or projects. So I listen to your comments, please.
Thank you.
Thank you for this.
Thank you so much, Vicente, for your questions. We have now Rumbi from Zimbabwe. Or maybe Tisora, who also raised the hand. Rumbitsa
Yes.
Tisora? Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Clear.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Thank you so much to all the speakers who have given us very interesting insights into how to include youth and the relevance of youth in evaluation. My name is Rumbitsa Tisora. I'm the Research and Evaluation Specialist at the UNICEF Zimbabwe Country Office. And my question goes to the professor. I just want to find out from you, how different is your master's in evaluation from others that are offered around the world? How does it address the issues that you have been talking about of including the youth and persons with disabilities in evaluation? And also, is there an opportunity for us to have a bilateral with you to learn how you structured any modules that involve youth and persons with disabilities in evaluation? And if so, I would reach out to you, because as UNICEF Zimbabwe, we're trying to promote youth in evaluation by including modules on these issues in some universities that offer master's programs in evaluation. So would really want to learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And for whoever of our presenters wants to answer, please be very brief, just 1 minute or maybe less. If you want to jump in to answer these two questions, go ahead.
We might ask them to please raise your hand, like the hand icon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I see.
Please go ahead.
Well, thanks a lot. Perhaps I would like to address the first question, and I see there is also a similar question in the chat by Eliakim Muhoza. And it's really about how to engage young evaluator in a meaningful manner in real world evaluations. And I would like to give the example, a very recent example with UNFPA, where for a corporate evaluations on UNFPA engagement in youth and adolescents, we decided to establish in collaboration with EvaLyouth, a youth steering committee that was composed by a number of young people, both young evaluators as well as young people, not evaluators. And together with this youth steering committee, so the evaluation was co-managed by the evaluation office of UNFPA together with this youth steering committee. So that was really the first time in a UN agency where we had this kind of experience of co-managing and taking decisions together on how to shape the evaluation, thermal reference, methodologies, etc. In addition to the fact of having young evaluators as part of the evaluation team. So yes, I mean, can be challenging, but absolutely needed and refreshing and innovative. And what we learned is also that throughout the process, you need to also invest some more energy in really also strengthening the technical capacities of young evaluators, because senior evaluators have more experience just because they have been working in evaluation for much longer than young evaluators. But that doesn't mean that a young evaluator can bring really new and refreshing perspectives that can really enforce and enhance the evaluation process and products. So, but you know, we will share additional material on the lessons learned of this experience later, also during this week. Thanks.
Thank you, Marco.
Maybe we can have Anis answer the second question. I believe he is prepared. And also, I would like to request our speakers, if you can respond in the chat for the other questions, please do, because we also running out of time. So please, Anis, take the floor.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So our master program, it is a Master of Social Policy and Program Evaluation. We are combining both field, social policy and program evaluation. But what is unique about the program is we try in the curriculum to provide content that is relevant to the context of the Global South. So we are very interested in decolonizing the content to fit the context of the global students. For example, all our students are mainly from the Global South, and most of them are young evaluator. All the curriculum is relevant using case studies and content speaking to that specific context. But in the same time, the content is also comparable to any other program in the US or in Europe. So joining our program, you still get the most up-to-date
we cannot hear him anymore.
Okay.
So, okay.
I think this is I think we're just gonna have to take this our cue to move on with the agenda. Unfortunately, we only have 3 minutes left and we have so much more to talk about and share with everyone as well. So if you, unfortunately, Anis, we won't be able to continue answering the question, but like we have a whole week to talk about youth and evaluation. So let me share with you what's actually in store for everyone for Youth and Evaluation Week. So for this week, we actually have 50+ events prepared by partners from all over the world for young and emerging evaluators, for institutions interested to engage youth in evaluation. So there is a lot, there is a lot for everyone to explore within the week. It's also available in multiple languages, from English, French, Mongolian, and also other local languages. And it is, you know, it's gonna be very much accessible. Many of them are available virtually. Some are available only in person, but others have also opted for hybrid events. And most of these events are focused on 3 thematic areas of Youth and Evaluation Week. One is for, raising the voices of youth. The second is learning for youth. And the third is to ensuring the prosperity of youth. And for Youth and Evaluation Week, these are all in the context of evaluation. So if you want to see all of these, again, please visit evalforaction.org/Youth in Eval Week. Other events to look forward for this week from the global Eval for Action team. We have 3 launch events. Our speakers have mentioned some of these today. We have 3 launch events for standards of enhancing meaningful engagement of youth in evaluation, happening on the 25th, tomorrow, 26th, and the 28th at 1 p.m. GMT. First one is focused on the standards for governments and academia. The second, on the 26th, is for international organizations and private sector. And the 28th event is for standards for youth organizations and WOPES. And one thing to note, these standards are created through a rigorous and inclusive process by task forces, members from all around the world. So do check out these standards. It also includes accountability tool for institutions to use when they are trying to improve their practice in engaging youth in evaluation. We also have 3 Twitter spaces. I know, it's such a shame that we couldn't continue our conversation here, but this is the purpose of the Twitter spaces. The Twitter spaces is meant for us to hold conversations about youth and evaluation, also happening on 25th, 26th, and 28th at immediately 30 minutes after the launch events. And they are going to be focused on 3 things as well. The first one is about eval youth experiences and young and emerging evaluators, focusing on multiple contexts from different regions. Second is for learning and job opportunities in evaluation. We have institutions and young and emerging evaluators sharing their experiences and their perspectives on why they provide these opportunities and how to make use of these opportunities to advance your career in evaluation. And lastly is gonna be our concluding event for Youth in Evaluation Week. What actually have we learned and what is our way forward? So all of these information are available at evalforaction.org. So please do check them out. Lastly, please
Wow.
do join. Oh, sorry, one more, Gerardo, to cut you off. I'm so sorry. One last is we are inviting everyone to join the Youth in Evaluation Manifesto signing drive. If you haven't heard of the manifesto, it is a call to action to commit to meaningfully engage youth and young and emerging evaluators in evaluation. Check again, it's all on the website. And if you are joining this drive, we ask everyone to please sign the manifesto if you haven't already. And if you have, you must inspire others to adopt the manifesto as well. Talk about the manifesto in social media and use hashtag #EvalForAction. All of the updates about the Youth and Evaluation Week can also be tracked using this hashtag. And lastly, if you haven't already, please display your badges or your champion badges if you have signed the manifesto. I also am a signatory of the manifesto. This is why I am also proud to wear this badge. And that is that's that's one of the few things that you could look forward to during the week. So over to you, Gerardo.
Wow, that's it's gonna be an incredible week. So people, bear with us. Very looking forward to see you in all the events of the week, which is gonna be absolutely fantastic. A lot of really powerful and very rich events. And thank you so much for the overview. And I'm wearing my badge as well. So I invite you to also do so and sing the manifesto. Well, bear with us. We're just closing this event, and I am presenting for the closing and vote of thanks, Miriam Ordóñez, who is the co-leader or co-chair at present time of Eval Youth in Latin America and the Caribbean. So please, Miriam, over to you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Gerardo. Well, dear friends and colleagues, today we kick off the celebrations of Youth in Evaluation 2023. Many people around the world have contributed with their talent, energy, and time to make this series of events possible. We as evaluators know about the relevance of evidence, right? And the Youth in Evaluation initiative is an irrefutable demonstration that the spirit of collaboration and working together is as strong as ever. Today's event brought together key stakeholders from governments, institutional, international organizations, BOPIs, academia, and private sector members, and of course, the community of young evaluators. We all agree on the role that the new generations of evaluators have in shaping an evaluation culture based on respect for human rights, recognition of our different needs, and inclusion of all young evaluators with the aim of leaving no one behind. We have less than a decade left to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, and it is important that we look towards the horizon, but without taking our feet off the present, because it is today when we must act. In the coming days, the voice of young evaluators will be heard through the inclusive intergenerational dialogue. It is important that we recognize our role as activists seeking to drive their meaningful and influential participation. So let's be a part of this movement, please. I close my speech by thanking, in particular, Dr. Natalia Kanem, Executive Director of the United Nations Populations Fund, and Yemurai Nyoni for their kind and encouraging words at this opening event. Likewise, thank the leadership of Gabriela Renteria, Marcos Egone, and Kabir Hashim of the Eval for Action initiative. I would also like to acknowledge the participation of Ida Helen, Sandra Albert, Najib Pantar, Chloe G, Rosemary Bilka, Mitrula Kapil, and Anis Ben. Thank you for sharing with us your experiences and knowledge on topics that are substantive to the SDGs evaluation. Last but not least, many thanks to the production team that organized and facilitated this event. It was a pleasure to work with you. I start with the moderators of this event, and Erika, thank you very much, and Gerardo also, and continue with the UNFPA team led by Acela Kalagompitia and made up of Randy Cademel, Maduka Lianagamage, Dorothy Mae Alviento, Hasiti Saramasinge, Vikena Hiska, and Marjorie Bautista. And I only have to wish you the best in the upcoming events, and let's celebrate youth in evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miriam.
Thank you,
So before everyone leaves, please stay for a quick group photo. I invite everyone to please open your videos and join us in this very quick group photo for everyone, just to mark the event. So please turn on your video, and I would like to invite our photographer to please take the floor.
Okay, everyone, can I see your smiling faces? I'm gonna take the photos now. Can you keep your smiles for a couple of seconds while I take the photo, please? Wow, there's a lot of people. Keep those smiles coming. One more. Very nice smiles. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, and see you around
you so
Youth in
much.
Evaluation Week.
Bye-bye. See you in the evaluation week. Thank you so much. You've been awesome. Thank you.